Wait a minute. I thought Halloween's over.
It is. This is Day of the Dead.
Man, you got more reasons for keeping a mask on than
Look, I need all my people out there. Okay, Stuart doesn't know what Day of the Dead is, guys. It is
yeah.
a real holiday.
That's a new
How do
that's a
you?
new one on me.
It's definitely not new. It's old. How have you lived in Texas and you haven't heard Day of the Dead? So Day of the Dead, guys, and I'm not going to dive into it. We could do a whole episode on it. I'm not going to. Day of the Dead is a big deal. So it's celebrating those we lost and the passing of those and the passage of where they're going. And it is huge. Matter of fact, if you go to a certain grocery store with three letters right now, there is a whole section of Day of the Dead stuff, candles,
Really?
bath towels. I have a ton of it. I have a big giant mug. Luke and I have two of these masks. We have separate decorations that I put out the morning of November 1st. Just a little, just to, not that I'm, my Hispanic heritage that I don't have, but yeah, no, it's a big deal.
How could I have known
Matt,
all of these decades and all and never heard of this one? It almost sounds like a Memorial Day
it's a very religious, yeah, and
oh,
huge, painting, masks and candles and food and traditions. And it is. It's not associated with Halloween at all. It actually happens after Halloween. It's 2 days, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I think it goes to the third. I could be wrong. Somebody check my intel on that, but absolutely, it is a real thing. So
but
I get
it's more of a celebratory.
it
Uh,
is. It's a celebration, and it's absolutely. I encourage you when we get done with this to Google Day of the Dead, and then not the movie, and then Google the Day of the Dead celebrations. There's one going on in Dallas. We have one going on in the Colony at Grandscape, but I also suggest you to look at the big parades they do, like in Mexico, and it's amazing. It's
I'll have to check it out
amazing.
because I'm sure with the huge Hispanic population we have in this country that it's probably celebrated all over the country too.
It's awesome. I throw my little stuff in. I'm like, yeah, I'm in. Let's go. Um, I remember
Oh,
when at my old house I lived. I had some great neighbors that would always. I mean, they always fed me anyway, but they would drop off food. Yeah, hey, we're doing this. Have some food, and yeah, it was cool.
they feed the feral cats in Brandon.
Yeah, they do. I know. Now I don't get that since I moved. So, but anyway, there you go, guys.
Hey, I was wondering, do you have any celebrity role models?
It's so hard to have a celebrity role model. I mean, I have celebrities that I like a lot that I just think are good people until they let me down. I think
That's the key right there, is I think that we have celebrities, whether they are actors, they are athletes, whatever, that we idolize, we look up to until they screw up, and then all of a sudden you say, why did I bother going there?
it's not a fair thing to do because and let's and that goes back to society and the world, and we as people have put these celebrities, these actors, musicians, politicians on a pedestal.
Yep.
We hold them to higher standards than we hold ourselves, and in reality they are just people. They just happen to be in a different position, have a couple extra zeros on their paycheck.
They cashed
um,
in on their talent. Yeah.
and most recently, I had a situation. I'm a big Foo Fighters fan, and I love Dave Grohl. He just seemed like, granted, I don't know him, but he just seemed like the coolest guy. I take away the musician side. I love seeing him post his TikToks with his family because he's like 50 now, and all that, and he still rocks. He's just a rock dad, embracing. And then it just came out that he had a daughter. Just recently, out of his marriage. He cheated on his wife, had a daughter, and now he's taking time off, and he acknowledged it and said, look, I was going through some things, this happened, whatever. I'll be honest with you. It bothered me, not because I mean, yes, because it was Dave Grohl, but it bothered me because I was like, dude, can't we just have one person in life, whether they're a celebrity or not, that doesn't go and cheat on the other person. And
Yeah.
can we just have a marriage? And everybody, and I said that on TikTok, and everybody's like, oh, he's just a human. Doesn't mean you got to stop listening to his music. No, I never said I'd stop listening to his music. I just said I want somebody to be normal. You know?
Well, yeah, we do. We hook sometimes with celebrities that have, six kids with three different partners, and they never got married to any of them and all. We like their celebrity and all, but the morals that go along with it sometimes are all not all that great. And so it's like a balancing act. For me, one of my celebrity heroes is Gary Sinise. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
going back, he was a great actor. I mean, he uh, became probably most famous as Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump, but he used that celebrity in a positive way, and he has done an awful lot for veterans causes. And all over the years, started a plays. He's got his own band that entertains at a lot of veterans events, and I don't know whether there's a dark side to his life. If there is, he's been very successful at keeping that off the set. But I idolize him because he has been somebody that has said, "I've made it, but I haven't made it just for me. I've made it
Right.
because now I can share it with other people." And we do have a lot of athletes, a lot of celebrities and all that have taken a lot of their wealth and put it back into positive causes.
Well, and I think the biggest thing too is like we sit here as a society and put these people on a pedestal that are just corrupt, that are just dirty, that have baggage. But then when a normal person makes mistakes, they get crucified,
Right.
and all that. But then you got to look at some of the guys. Like I'll tell you right now, like I think Shaquille O'Neal is probably one of the best dudes out there. What he does on a daily basis, and people just happen to record it. But he doesn't really care about the status of celebrity. I mean, yes, you got to protect himself, even if you're Shaq. The stories of him walking into a Target to go shopping and just walking up to a family going, hey, I'm going to just buy all this for you guys, and then leaves. Or him buying a bike for, hey, you got a bike? No, not yet. I'm going to buy you a bike. Let's go pick out a bike.
Right.
What he does for younger athletes, what he does when kids are trying to get his autograph and security's pushing him away. And he's like, nope, you bring that kid to me. So
Right.
I think that but I also think that's just an example of a great human being, No, he's not perfect, but he's a great human being. You've got people like that out there that you hear about,
It's somebody that remembers where they came from. And does he? Another one is a good friend of yours, and that's Snoop Dogg.
I love Snoop, man.
I mean, look what he has done, poured himself into the image of the Olympics and brought it into a modern culture. He's a spokesperson for many, many, many products and all. And yeah, he's had his issues over the years,
Sure.
but
Yeah.
he has put a lot of that into positive directions.
Well, yeah, and the thing with Snoop is like he doesn't hide from it. He doesn't sit there and try to separate himself from his past. He
Yeah.
doesn't try to change who he is. He's like, I'm a granddad now. I've done my thing. I'm good. I've got a blessed life. So I'm gonna smoke my weed. I'm gonna hang out with Martha, and I'm gonna do some fun stuff. You know
Yeah.
what? How could anybody be mad at that? Like,
Yeah. I mean, I get, I don't know. I don't know why I put him in the same category, but Willie Nelson has always fascinated me too, because
well, he's still. Hey, you might as well put him in the same category because him and Willie hang out.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And by the way, have you noticed recently the reinvention of Cheech and Chong?
Yes. Well, hey, they're making money.
They found a new avenue, man, and they're going for broke with
There's
it.
another guy local, from here, Post Malone, that I have nothing but love for because that guy has struggled with depression, addiction, doesn't
Right?
hide it,
Yeah.
doesn't hide it. But you want to talk about what he does for communities. You want to talk about what he does for his fans. You want to talk about how humbled he is and how, like, I watched a video of him and there was this, I don't know what was wrong with this fan. I don't know. He wasn't autistic. There's something. He was challenged. I don't know. But he was a big Post Malone fan. And this was at just a random restaurant. You know, Post Malone sat down with him and just talked to him forever, made his security just sit there and wait. And they caught some of it from another table, was recording, and Post doesn't ask for anything. He don't care. You know, he's just like, I want to hang out with my people. I got respect for that. Because he could be the opposite. And, you know, and I think that is one of the coolest things. But I do think all too often we put celebrities on a pedestal, and we need to stop.
Yeah, well, and also I think that there are far too many of them that do forget their humble beginnings. That
Yes,
they make it big. It's like get out of my way. You know, I don't have time for you. And
I don't get that. I don't,
No,
but I also think that that's the Hollywood element. I mean, it's very weird to me, and this is actually something I'm going to talk on my podcast about because I have a couple personal examples of friends that have gone Hollywood or chased the dream and have made it to some sort of, you know, image and social media status that are not who they were anymore. I don't understand them from the way they look, from the way they speak. It's very weird. It tells me that this is not normal. You know, it's one thing to go be a success and maybe work out a little, lose some weight, be healthy, maybe you dye your hair, but to completely change who you are and completely change, like, I mean, get down to a level of weight that is just disturbing, to sit there and start changing your beliefs. It tells me that whatever they're drinking in LA and Hollywood is wrong.
well, also some of that I think is the people behind them. It's their promoters, their managers, and everything. That
I don't get it, man.
if they notice that the popularity scale is starting to go down a little bit, they got to come out with some kind of occasion or circumstance that's going to elevate that interest again. And
Yeah, and I think there's very few celebrities that can get away with just being who they are. Like another one that I look up to a lot is Dave Chappelle. Not only is he one of the funniest dudes out there, he owns his mistakes. Doesn't care what he says. He'll
yeah,
say it, just say it, and he doesn't say it to be offensive. He says it because number one, it's comedy, it's funny. But number two, why not? You know, like let's talk about it. And he can get away with it. He can't get canceled. He does not care. You know, and I respect that, you know, but I think a lot of times in Hollywood, if you don't follow that blueprint, you're done, man. You're done.
yeah, yeah. It's you know, I another one going way back. Lenny Bruce was that way. Lenny Bruce was a kind of a foul mouth comedian because that was part of his shtick. But when he was not out on stage, he was thoughtful. He was intelligent. He shared
Right.
his celebrity in positive ways. And all it's just that when the lights went on, he became that bad boy, and
And
that
it happens. I mean, it happens, you
yeah.
know, and I don't know, but I think this also goes back to humanity too. Like, when did we separate the two? You know, like, because what is separating us from Hollywood, you know, from the celebrities, musicians? Maybe some talent, definitely money, lifestyle, but you
Yeah.
strip that away, and at the core, they're people. So, what are we doing? You
Well,
know,
and we are highly influenced today.
it's weird.
Social media sometimes can be evil
A
because
hundred
it,
percent.
it
Yeah,
just promotes the crap out of people and sucks people into that cult mentality.
agreed. I
Um,
mean, it does awful things, and then it lets those people that are behind those awful things thrive.
yeah,
And you know, what I don't know.
look, I mean, we would not have the dozens of followers that we have if it wasn't for your celebrity.
Yeah, my celebrityism, my random
Yes,
check deposits that
yes,
appear,
and
and they're
Brandon would
not
like to
that.
and Brandon would like to thank both of you for your support.
You know, my big Facebook check that they give me once a month that I can fill my gas tank with, and
Yeah,
occasionally the occasional TikTok check or the podcast check that has like,
right,
all right, it's $35 today, baby.
right. Followed by the letter of cease and desist
Right. Well, that
from another
happens. That
platform.
definitely happens. That happens.
But, well, anyhow, go out, make it a great day. Join us again. We're still going to be here. Our celebrity is just growing by
Of
leaps and
course.
bounds.
Obviously.
We'll see both of you again next week.
Later.
Bye.